Once told they'd save the universe during a time-traveling adventure, two would-be rockers from San Dimas, California, find themselves as middle-aged dads still trying to crank out a hit and fulfill their destiny. What's going on, Flix Talkers? Welcome back to another review, and we have our guest that you haven't seen in such a long time.
Been a while, been a long time.
It has been a long time, but we have my buddy Jeremy in here. We used to do reviews, and we're going to do a lot more, but it's so glad that we came together to check out this Bill and Ted 3.
Yeah, Bill and Ted 3.
Face the Music.
Long time coming.
Yeah, and this film did come out, guys, this weekend, so this was, what is it? August 28th, I believe, is when it came out. It is available right now on Prime to rent, so make sure you guys check that one out. It is PG-13, has a runtime of 1 hour, 28 minutes. So, man, as Bill and Ted fans, I haven't seen the Bill and Ted series, in such a long time. You probably know it a lot better than I have. So the first one did come out in 1988.
Yeah.
And then you had Bogus Journey, which came out in 1991. So we're looking at almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
and
years.
Right off the bat, man, before we get into this, like our likes and our dislikes, how did it hold up overall? Because this is actually your second time watching it now.
This is my second time.
Yeah.
Yes. I couldn't resist. I showed my wife the first two, Excellent Adventure and Bogus Journey, and we watched those. And then we saw it on Amazon Prime. And she's like, "Yeah, let's get it." So we ordered it and watched it. So this is my second viewing of it.
Yeah.
I'm stoked to be watching it with you.
Yeah, for sure. So now that we did finish it in the comfort of our own homes, because unfortunately here in Cali, the quarantine is
theaters are not open. It's
theaters
really
are
impossible.
Yeah, it's not open.
I would have seen this in theater. If I had the opportunity.
And that's what we were planning to for months now, you know. And then, unfortunately, it didn't happen. So we did have to watch it, in the comfort of our own home, which is fine.
Yeah.
I had a fun time with this. But I kind of wish I would have watched these throughout the week.
Yeah, it'll make more sense.
Because
definitely watch the first two before you watch the third.
Yeah, do a little marathon.
Do a
little marathon, because we kept pausing it. I kept turning to Jeremy and saying like, "Oh, was that one character from this? Yeah, or did it happen like this?" You kind of got to know going into it some of the previous characters. So I will definitely say that. But overall thoughts, I guess, for me would be that I did have fun with this movie for what it was. Yeah. And I think you have to kind of be a Bill and Ted fan to kind of be into it. What were your initial thoughts watching it the second time?
Watching it the second time, I thought it was great. I loved it. Had good comedy timing and everything. And you could tell Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, Bill and Ted, their chemistry just is so good, And being after 30 years, you could tell they've kept in close contact, and are good friends, because it just comes off that way on the screen, and it was really good. Had some really good moments to it, some real comedic moments and good timing.
Yeah. No, well said, because I automatically jumping to my likes this movie was the chemistry between Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
And we talked about afterwards that I felt like Keanu wasn't, Ted 100%.
Yeah.
Because he's done so many roles
he's done
over
so
the years.
many, you got John Wick's and The Matrix and all the other more serious roles he's done, and he's such a big actor and big movies. To go back to his comedy roots as in Bill and Ted, it was
he had to kind of re-tap into that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but as Alex Winter is Bill, he's tapped into that Bill.
He killed it. He killed it as Bill, and obviously they're older, and they don't play it off as they're younger, They know they're older in this movie, which is cool, but they're still themselves. They're still, Bill and Ted. So.
Yeah, and they do mention that. They do talk about kind of having to mature. They go through couples therapy, so we get to see that. This is a spoiler-free review, by the way, so we're not going to be talking any spoilers. But they do go through couples therapy with the princesses over time. So once again, you have to, kind of. And I was like, who are these girls again? Where did they come from? What time?
The babes.
So so you do kind of have to know about the previous movies. But we do get a mention of them, as well as Samara Weaving as Thea and Bridget Lundy Payne, and she does play Billy, and so they are the daughters of Bill and Ted. And what did you think of their performances as the daughters?
Oh, I thought they nailed it as the daughters. The contrast. It's they both have Bill's daughter has the blonde hair and Ted's super brunette. And they're just the mirror images. Obviously as the daughters. And I thought they killed it. I thought they did really good.
Yeah.
With the whole mannerisms and how they spoke and everything. It was just it's the female Bill and Ted.
I think
So
the
I thought
character
that was cool. It's a throwback to the
Yeah.
original Bill and Ted, but just role reversed.
Yeah. No, I thought the character of Bridget Lundy Payne played as Billy. She was like a spitting image of Keanu, just when she would be like,
whoa,
"What's up, dude?
hey.
Whoa," like all that and stuff. And that was
her head movement, her
that was
mannerisms.
cool.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, and Samara Weaving is someone that's definitely on the rise as far as Mayhem. She was in Ready or Not. A lot of other. She's definitely on the rise for sure.
Babysitter, that Netflix one.
Yeah, the Babysitter. I haven't caught that one, but they're making a sequel to that. So it's like she's definitely one of the more standouts as far as like a recognizable face, I guess. In this, there's a lot of cameos in this as well. But I thought she did a pretty good job. But I think out of the two, Billy definitely killed it.
Yeah, she did really good.
Yeah, for me, as well as Death by William Sadler.
Death is
we get to see.
Obviously, besides Bill and Ted, Death is my favorite character of the whole franchise.
Yeah.
He's like, in my opinion, he's on par with Bill and Ted. Like, especially in Bogus Journey when they introduced Death, and you think he's all menacing, and his voice is all, it's got that gravelly, and then he just starts talking normal, and he's cheating in the game.
He has that accent. He has an accent as well.
The accent, so good.
Yeah. So he's a character that we do get to see. Just not spoiler, but he is part of like the third act of the movie. So like the last 20 30 minutes 20 minutes of the movie, you get to kind of see him, but he had an integral play in there, and it was a cool little tie-in. They kind of reconciled, and we do get a nice introduction, like a flashback, I guess, at the beginning of the movie. If you haven't seen the first two movies, you get to say, oh, this is what happened in the first movie.
Kind of recap.
Yeah, a little recap, which was nice.
And William Sadler playing Death, I've always liked that character actor.
Yeah.
He's been in loads and loads of movies and cameos, and like Demon Knight, and does a lot of horror and stuff like that. He's really good.
Yeah. Also, the character of Anthony Carrigan. I was like, who is this guy that's playing the robot of what was it? Something Caleb?
Oh yeah, Dennis Caleb McCoy.
Dennis Caleb McCoy as this robot that you guys are gonna see. That at first,
it's pretty funny.
At first, I was like, okay, it looks really low budget.
Yeah.
By the way, jumping to the budget budget was great. The way they spent the money on
the effects and everything.
Oh, it was
really,
so fun.
Really good. Yeah.
But going back to this character of Caleb, what was it again? Caleb McCoy.
Caleb Dennis McCoy.
Caleb Dennis McCoy, and he repeats it over and over again. So I should remember that. But it's played by Anthony Carrigan, who I saw in Barry. Did you watch Barry?
No, I haven't seen Barry, but I've heard it's so great. I need to watch it. Yeah,
excellent, man. But he does play NoHo Hank, North Hollywood Hank, in that, and he kind of plays that same character in Barry.
Okay,
and it's funny that we get to see this AI robot that is just
he was
like,
a really funny character.
My God.
I thought like just
he grew on me.
Yeah, he did. He did. Because at first I was kind of like, I don't. And then when you keep watching, you're just like, all right, he's funny. It's just that awkward, nervous, like, my name is, sorry.
It's basically a robot that's almost like glitching out, that he has like AI feelings. He starts thinking, he's like, oh, sorry, like he apologizes.
I didn't mean
and stuff. Yeah. So he has regret and stuff like that. So it's
pretty funny.
It's goofy to see that, but then again, he's like he's like from 700 years in the future.
Yeah, it's like 2072 or 76.
Yeah, so San Dimas from the future. So I don't know. Maybe robots will have emotions like that. I mean, we get robot. We got Terminator. We got the actual
Terminator who worked at a curtain shop.
Yeah, in Dark Fate, so it could possibly happen. But I really did enjoy a lot of the side characters. Obviously we got like Kid Cudi, we got Dave Grohl. So we got a couple of actual artists in there, which was cool. But Kid Cudi didn't offer anything.
No, he
to
didn't.
Me
he
in
was
the role.
Kind of just there. And it was cool seeing the band. A couple of the members. I won't spoil anything, but a couple of members were pretty predominant and big artists, revolutionary and everything, but there wasn't like, they're very, very minimal in the movie. They're just like 3-5 minute screen time total cameo. So
and I feel like the whole gathering of the band aspect from the daughters was reminiscent of the plots of like the last two movies, where they kind of shimmy that in of not only because it's this whole central theme of creating the perfect song, and it's kind of funny and goofy if you think about it, But then I started thinking like there was actual like "We Are the World" songs. Remember that with Michael Jackson, and they had like all the top singers of that time. I think I'm trying to think who else did, but they did it a couple times. Yeah, and they were actually really trying to do this heal the world thing. Live Aid, exactly. So it's not that far fetched that music would bring us together in real times. You know, I mean, currently, you know, the times that we're living in now, 2020. We were just talking about how shit of a year it's been.
Bad year.
You know, and it's like, you know, could music bring us together to kind of, you know, be the healing factor? And you start getting feelings of that towards the end of this movie.
Exactly. And that's what's so nice.
Yeah.
That's what's so nice about it.
Yeah. So I started thinking a little more being beneath the surface, I guess, of it just being kind of goofy and stuff like that. And then in the last maybe like 10, 15 minutes, you get a rush job of them trying to put together the song. So, and I was turning over to Jeremy like, how would this work? How would everybody kind of join in? So it gets a little convoluted just in like, obviously you're not thinking logical. You're just like, okay, like you're getting sucked into the movie. And you don't want to question it too much. But in the end, I mean, I think we both looked at each other and we were like, this is kind of on par with the previous movies. The first was like obviously the best.
The first, you can never top, you know, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. That's the epitome. That's like, you know, it's kind of unfair going in to compare it actually, just because that was just such a good movie, and it was just
for its time
too, and everything. But for this movie, I thought it was on par. I think it might have liked it better than the second one, Bogus Journey, or you know, just pretty even. But it had more correlation, more relation to the first movie. I thought it had more like online with Excellent Adventure than it did with Bogus Journey, and obviously it takes both movies, you know, elements in both movies. But I thought it had a little bit more correlation towards Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, more in common with that one than Bogus Journey.
Most definitely. I'm glad they took a lot of elements, or not even rehashing, but just kind of implementing, just in case you hadn't seen the previous movies, that this was going to be like the central. And once again, the whole central thing is them trying to create this song,
Perfect
you know,
song
to
for
change
humanity.
the future. But then they're also talking about changing reality. They kept mentioning reality, which has a huge play into the movie too. So you're not only going through time and taking people, because they do create the perfect band by grabbing up, well, I'll just say like Jimi Hendrix or Louis Armstrong and you know, Mozart and stuff like that. But in the same vein as the previous movies, you can't just plop up those characters and bring them to present time without altering the past. And they did a good job of showing that butterfly effect of them altering time. And I actually like that, because things would change if you took certain people out of the equation back then. So they kind of did that in a pretty cool way. But I felt like the ending was just so rushed, like just jarring of like trying to cram in like as much as we can. But I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. And the director of Dean Parasot, he did Galaxy Quest, Red 2, Fun with Dick and Jane, and I felt those vibes right away. I was like, this is probably the perfect director to do that.
Yeah, no, he did a really good job directing. The writers, same
writers, the previous movies, right? So Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon. Yeah, so that's awesome that they incorporated those same. They also did the Goofy movie as well. So I mean, you get the same veins of like, you get the same type of writing.
Yeah, no, totally.
And that's good.
It was awesome. Like I said, it was like, it's just a continuation of the first two movies, and obviously, you know, 30 years later, but it still held up really well.
Yeah, so I mean, I had fun with this. If I could give it an overall rating, I would say it was probably a 3 out of 5 for me. Saying it's definitely a good one to add to the collection. I hope they come out with some kind of trilogy in 4K, hopefully, because I'll probably add that to my collection. I do have it on DVD, a double pack set, but I would love to upgrade. But what would you give this as the final score?
I'd say probably a 4 out of 5. 3.5, 4 to 5. I just wish it was a little longer. I mean, the other two were the same time, I think.
Hour and a half,
I don't know. I'm a big Bill and Ted fan, so it's just like I selfishly I want more. So I'm just like, and like you said, some of the things we already went over. It's just some characters are just kind of there that don't really like implement the story, I think.
It felt like a lot of SNL cast too were all attached.
Yeah,
like they had a
yeah.
couple of side characters that I definitely seen from either SNL or other,
Comedy.
like that in that vein of SNL, like The Lonely Island, like those type of films or projects, and which are fine. It's just that some of the comedy beats didn't hit for me.
Yeah.
And some of the writing was goofy, but then along. In that same vein, Bill and Ted is goofy. Like
Bill and Ted's.
So if you know these movies already, you know that you're going to
Yeah.
get this exact same kind of comedy.
Oh no, I totally. You're don't go in expecting like a serious movie. It's not gonna be like The Godfather or Shawshank Redemption. But I thought it was really good, and definitely if you're a fan of Bill and Ted, definitely.
Yeah, you have to watch. I
check it
think
out.
you would watch. You'd have a fun time if you guys are fans of Bill and Ted, or just growing up in the 80s or 90s.
Oh
I think you'd
yeah,
have a good
no,
time.
totally, really good, really good continuation for those previous movies for sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that is our review for Bill and Ted 3 Face Some. Is it called Bill and Ted 3? No, we just call it Bill and Ted 3.
We just call it Bill and Ted 3. It's Bill and Ted Face Some Music.
Face the Music, yeah.
Yes.
So it is premiering this weekend. Well, it already came out, guys, on the 28th of August. Let me know if you guys are going to see it. And it is actually playing in some drive-thrus and drive-ins
Some
and theaters.
Select theaters across the
Select
country.
theaters. Let us know if you guys are going to check it out down
I recommend
in the
it.
comments below.
Definitely
Yeah.
check it out for sure.
All right, and if you guys did appreciate our spoiler-free review for this, please give us a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe and bell notification. Till next time, we're gone.
Bye.